Greetings YouTube! Joe here with Culination Media, and welcome back to the very next episode of Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. This is episode 5. And in this episode we're going to be continuing on through the Relic Forest and hopefully getting our Teddiursa purified so we can move on and get over to Mount Battle in the next episode. Because after that we're going to find out where these Slifer goons are keeping Professor Kron and holding him captive and all that stuff so we can go to his rescue. Anyway, in the Relic Forest here, it's going to be a kind of like a gauntlet of 4 straight battles, although you do have the opportunity to go back and heal at the Pokemon Center at any time in between the battles. And the whole point of this is to, 1, get some experience under your belt, and 2, to reduce the shadow bars of your shadow Pokemon. I'm only going to be working on Teddiursa because I want him to be purified. As for the other 2, if you keep them in your party, their shadow bars will decrease over time. It does depend on their nature, but it will decrease over time based on how much you kind of walk around with them and stuff. And junk. Yo. But, yeah, it's different for each nature, and that's also how it worked in the Pokemon Coliseum games, which I think is pretty interesting. But some of them, you'll notice, will really benefit from just staying in your party, and for some of them, actually, that is the most effective way to reduce their shadow bar. As for others, oh, reverse mode, sweet. Anyway, I got distracted there by, like, pretty colors. Whoa, shining lights. But yeah, anyway, as for others, they will benefit more from battling or going into reverse mode, and actually there is a fifth method to reduce the shadow bars, and that is the cologne massages, which we will be getting after the 4th battle in this gauntlet. Anyway, we have the second battler here, Super Trainer Jeles, and she has a Snubbull and a Corphish. And does Snubbull have the Intimidate ability? No, thank goodness, which means it has Cute Charm, so if you have a male Pokemon, don't touch it if you can help it. Anyway, as for Corphish, Corphish has very good defensive stats, physical defensive stats that is, and very poor special defense. So prey on it by using Bite with whichever Eevee evolution you chose, and you should be able to knock it out in 1 hit. And as for Snubbull, I don't have to worry about the Cute Charm because Teddiursa is a girl, so can't be attracted. Scary Face kind of sucks. And oh yeah, I forgot Teddiursa was in reverse mode. I need to call him out of that. And by him, I mean her. I'm probably going to call Teddiursa him way too many times, so if you're offended, I am so sorry. Just kidding, I don't give a shit. Alright, we're gonna bite the hell out of Snubbull. It doesn't matter now that we're opposite genders, because Snubbull's dead. And we can't be attracted to something that's dead, because that would be unethical, yo. Unfortunately, you got a critical hit with the Absorb move, which is super effective, but it doesn't do anything for him, really. And I have so much freaking HP that it just doesn't matter. Bite should do a significant amount of damage, and it almost kills him. And growl, nice. Very nice. I applaud your strategy, sir. I mean, ma'am. Wow. I'm not good at identifying genders. I'm also not good at speaking. He. She went into reverse mode again. You know, I'm just gonna say he. I don't care anymore. That's right, you are handed the loss, yo. Teddiursa should be good to go. We do have the 4 battles here, and there's actually an extra one that we have to do. And that is battling Egan himself, which is, I guess that's okay. You get some good money out of it, though. Well, let this old woman come to the aid of pitiful Pokemon. It just sounds really bad when you word it like that, but that's cool. And her name is Lady. Or Lottie. I'm gonna go with Lady, though, because it sounds weird. She has a Cacnea and a Slugma. One thing to keep in mind for this battle is that you have at least a 50% chance that Slugma has the ability Flame Body, which means if you use a move that makes physical contact, you have a pretty decent chance of getting the burn condition, which will reduce your attack and also reduce your HP after every turn. It doesn't hurt you outside of battle, and you're okay in this specific situation because 1, you can go back to the Poke Center in between battles, and 2, there's actually a little case, an item case, pretty much right next to where this battle is that has 2 burn heals in it, so you will be good to go if you get burned. I recommend not using them and just going back to heal because at least it helps you walk around a little bit. You take some extra steps and get some of that shadow gauge down. Somehow Slugma doesn't die from that, I don't know how. Ember also has the chance to burn you, although the chance is much lower than the Flame Body ability. So chances are you are going to get burned in this battle. I just have gotten really lucky so far. Other thing to keep in mind is that Slugma has much lower physical defense than special defense. Maybe I lied about much lower, but it is lower, so go for physical attacks. Not that you really have a choice because you don't. It's not like you have a wide pool of moves and Pokemon to pull from in this battle, but just some insightful information. I'm trying to be productive instead of just saying blah 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 the whole time because that's not really that helpful. Or maybe it is. I don't want to make any conclusions here. There's the 2 burn heals that I was telling you about. See, I told you so. I told you so. But my true identity, the legendary trainer. Yeah. His name is Kron. And he's not a legendary trainer, but he does have a legendary hat. I will say that. Look at that thing. B.A. And awesome purple pants, too. I want those purple pants. Thinking about stealing them. Anyway, Mr. Kron has a Horsey and an Abra, and your first priority is to take out that Abra at all costs because it does have the elemental punch moves and a very high special attack stat, and it's fast. So you want to attack with your Evolution and use Bite on it, and that should get rid of it. Most of the time, attacking the Abra Evolution line with physical moves is the way to go because of their horrendous defense stats, but Tackle wasn't going to do the trick, so Bite thankfully got rid of it because it probably would have used Thunder Punch on Vaporeon or Ice Punch on Teddiursa. Not that Ice Punch would have been terribly effective, but the high special attack stat makes a difference. Anyway, the chances of knocking Horsey out in one hit is almost nothing because it's fairly sturdy. It's not fragile enough to get knocked out in one hit. Unfortunately, Shroomish is kind of the same way, and it also has the Effect Spore ability to paralyze, put you to sleep, or poison you 30% of the time when you make physical contact, and that's unfortunately what just happened to me, and I'm kind of pissed off about it. But it's all good, it's all good. Let's bite Shrumish's face off and see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't paralyze me or anything. Not that it matters. We do have a battle with Egan coming up, so I'm going to go back to the Poke Center and get all healed up for this battle because if you take it for granted, you could get your ass handed to you, even though Egan only has 1 Pokemon, and it's a Pikachu nonetheless. Here's a little something that may hasten how quickly Shadow Pokemon do something. Yes, I guess respond. That's what he meant to say. So he's going to give you the cologne case. I don't know why I said it like that. The cologne case. Sounded better without the inflection. The cologne case is what I was telling you about. In the Pokemart in this town, you can buy the scents that go in that case, and then you can massage your Pokemon in a completely non-sexual way. And yeah, lower that shadow gauge. Yes. Unfortunately, it's the only method that does require money, so I would use that sparingly, although you can pretty much obliterate the shadow bar in, less than 5 minutes that way, so it can be useful for a fast fix. Although the Purified chamber does eliminate the need for any of that, but that's later on. Okay, so our team's all good to go here. And our team kind of is pathetic, but it's all good. We do have Vaporeon. Yo, Santa, what's up, dog? Your Shadow Pokemon should be ready to open its heart after the battles you've waged getting here. Now I shall be your opponent, and here's my partner. Okay, and it's going to be a Pikachu, which doesn't sound like it should be that bad, but Pikachu can be kind of dangerous, especially if you're not careful. And this Pikachu is very well trained, even though it's at a low level. And it does know Thunderbolt, so be careful, because especially with Vaporeon, if it hits you with Thunderbolt, it might very well knock you out in one hit. And yeah, that part kind of sucks. Okay, so the Pikachu's at level 12, and it's going to go first because Pikachu is quite speedy, and it uses Thunderbolt on Teddiursa, and thankfully it didn't do that much damage. And we should be able to knock it out in 2 hits with Bite, and then, oh, the static. Okay, that's cool. But Shadow Blitz is going to take care of Pikachu, and that's going to be that, son. Santa, you just got owned. Yeah, give me that experience. And Teddiursa is going to go into reverse mode at the end of the battle, which is cool, I guess. But his shadow gauge is pretty much all the way down. If there's anything left on there, it's just the tiniest amount. My goodness, it was a white-hot experience, our battle. And to defeat my Pikachu, that takes real skill. Word up. Actually, it wasn't that difficult of a battle. What do you mean? No, what do you mean it's not ready to be purified? Damn it, Teddiursa. So now I guess I can just run around with it. And hopefully any minute now, a little indicator will come up on our screen that will let us know that Teddiursa is ready to be purified. And it looks like his bar is all the way down, but no, stop talking to me. Stop talking to me, Santa. Get out of here, yo. I guess what I can do, if this just doesn't show up, is go back and heal at the Pokemon Center, and then it should go off before I get there. Honestly, it really should. I'm gonna be pissed. There we go. Teddiursa can now be purified. The only thing that gets kind of annoying is that there are like twice as many Shadow Pokemon in this game as there were in the last game. And it does that for every single Shadow Pokemon. Even if it's in the Purifying Chamber and it's not with you in your party, it will give you a notification, which I guess is kind of useful, but at the same time it's like, there's so many. And a lot of times there will be, 4 or 5 back to back because they were already in the Purifying Chamber. But I guess you'll hear me rage about that a little bit more later on. When we can actually use the Purifying Chamber instead of just talking about it. So Teddiursa is now a regular Pokemon, and he regains the move Return, which is an awesome normal type, same type attack move for Teddiursa, and he gains Refresh, as well as 914 experience points, and he's going to go to level 12 and maybe 13. I think that was the sound. Yeah, level 13. Alright, and he's going to try to learn Fury Swipes, and I'm not going to teach that to him because he already knows Return, and Return is a much better move with the potential to have a lot more power as long as the Pokemon likes you. Well done, that Pokemon has finally returned to its former self. For the time being, let's go back to my house. Santa, what you doing, man? You hitting on me? This is a cause for celebration. You successfully purified your first Shadow Pokemon. Well, that's just fantastic. Thanks for all that. You see, yeah, Professor Crane was a frequent visitor to a Gate Village, which is nice. And they're going to tell us about Vander now. And that's going to open up the next destination for us. I needed to tell you about Vander. We have a friend by the name of Vander who lives on Mount Battle, which is a place of training for trainers. Training for trainers. Vander claims to have seen sinister characters out in the desert. Whoa. Now that, my friends, is suspicious. Sounds intriguing. Yes, Mount Battle is to the northeast. So that's where we're going to be headed. And we do have to do a couple of battles before we can talk to Vander. But that's going to be our final clue as to where these bastards took Professor Crane. And then we can go rescue him and be his knight in shining armor. But anyway, that's going to be it for this episode, guys. Thank you very much for watching. And stay tuned for part 6. Game on!